led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We the sheeple, hear no, see no, and speak no evil. We get lied to so much, it seems normal to be deceitful. We'll never be treated equal, and I wanna know why. Rich people start all the wars, but only poor people die. Just take a look, it's so easy to see the system is rigged by degenerate pigs targeting our innocent kids. They start programming you just as soon as you exit the womb. Now money is your god,
you must obey and consume.
Always practice conformity, stay within the majority. Never think for yourself and do not question authority. Man, I still can't even believe this is the way that they have us. I'm taking my chances, I have to try and wake up the masses. Can't get away from the madness, but still I'm trying my best. And as long as I'm still alive, I will fight till the death. Because we cannot let this be the end. It's now or never, sink or swim. The time has come for the great awakening.
Never sleep again.
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Listen, I woke up with a fever today. Sick of the fact people believe everything that this evil media say. Morality has been deleted away. Zionist heathens display that they're the predators who see us as prey. Transparency is what they need to pervade. They even have us thinking that eating the fruit that has no seed is okay. Victims of greed and impeded by hate. The glaring question is, how can we get to God if Satan's leading the way? Ravenous witches, scientists with moral character glitches, preparing malicious conditions and sick narrative switches. The elite is wearing his privilege as he battles for riches, while the lower classes carry out the establishment's wishes. The portrayal of their intentions is unfair and fictitious, acting suspicious. Undercover agents snapping your pictures, suggestive messages embedded in the movies to trick us. Music and advertisement slickness plus remixture of scriptures. Come on.
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's 2019, but it feels more like 1984. Our rights are fading away. Every day they're taking more. It's time to stand and take action. What are we waiting for? They're waging war on humanity. This we can't ignore. My brain is sore from all the lies that they constantly feed us. Elitists that follow the phoenix can swallow a penis. And we're not gonna stop until we know all of your secrets. The Bible says in our final days our knowledge increases. That is exactly what's happening now on this challenging road that we're traveling down. We have to get rowdy, we have to get loud and keep spreading the truth and just pass it around. You work like a slave and you live in a loop. They're turning your sky into chemical soup. I'm always watching these videos, often like Richie from Boston, to give me the scoop. Waking the world up, dispensing the truth like a doctor that's handing out red pills to everyone. What in the world are they spraying up there in the air? It's aluminum, lithium, barium. Nobody notices, nobody cares. Everyone's greedy and nobody shares. I want to help you, you'll be in my prayers. But now we must separate wheat from the tares.
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The church in America is going to suffer so terribly. And we laugh now, but they will come after us. They will come after our children. They will close the net around us while we are playing soccer mom and soccer dad, while we are arguing over so many little things and mesmerized by so many trinkets. The net even now is closing around you and your children and your grandchildren, and it does not cause you to fear. You will be isolated from society, as has already happened. Anyone who tries to run for office who actually believes the Bible will be considered a lunatic until finally we are silenced. We will be called things that we're not and persecuted not for being followers of Christ, but for being radical fundamentalists who do not know the true way of Christ, which of course is love and tolerance. You'll go down as the greatest bigots and haters of mankind in history. They've already come after your children, and for most of you, they got them. They got them through the public schools and indoctrination and the university and indoctrination, and then you wonder why your children come out not serving the Lord. It's because you fed them right into the devil's mouth. So little by little, the net is closing around, and then it's not little by little. Look how fast things are going downhill just in a matter of weeks. But at the same time, know this: persecution is always meant for evil, but God always means it for good. And is it not better to suffer in this life to have an extra weight of glory in heaven? You must settle this in your mind. This is the one thing I want to say over and over. Down through history, you have a wrong idea of martyrdom and persecution. You think that these men were persecuted and martyred for their sincere faith in Jesus Christ. That was the real reason, but no one heard that publicly. They were martyred, and they were persecuted as enemies of the state, as bigots, as narrow-minded, stupid people who had fallen for a ruse and can contribute nothing to society. Your suffering will not be noble. So your mind must be filled with the Word of God when all people persecute you and turn on you. This is no game. You want revival and awakening, but know this: for the most part, great awakenings have come only preceding great national catastrophes or the persecution of the church. I believe God is bringing a great awakening, but I believe that He is raising up young men who are strong in trust in the providence of God to be able to wade through the hell that's going to break loose on us. And it will be on us before we even recognize it. Unless in God's providence, He is not done. He is not done.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Steve JMO and the TruthSeeker69. What's going on, YouTube?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. It's raining here, and it's supposed to rain the next 4 days straight, like nothing but just straight rain, no break or anything. And you look at the radar, and it's like only this small patch of rain, and I'm like, well, where the fuck is this 4 days of rain coming from when it doesn't look like there's anything behind this little patch of rain? I guess they know they're going to be making some more rain, so they already put it in the forecast.
Oh yeah, you know, they try to hide the chemtrails on the radars and whatnot. So what you're seeing is probably just the regular storm, and then they're just gonna, you know, amp it up, throw the frequencies at it and whatnot. But yeah, you up here in Mass, you would think it's gonna rain, but the forecast doesn't call for rain or snow for the next week or so, and it's just gray. There's just lines and layers in the clouds. It's just you know, the typical ridiculousness. No big deal.
Yeah, well, it's like 70 degrees here. It's the average right now is about 65. Yesterday, today, and the next 3 days for fucking January. That's crazy. I mean, I'm not complaining, like, you know, because I'm not a cold weather person, and I always hated my birthday being in January because it was always so cold and you couldn't really do much. But I mean, this is just so weird. I have to have my grass cut in January. That's just bizarre.
Oh yeah, you're right. And you know, like I said the other day, it was like 60 degrees up here in Mass, but And it's funny, everyone's talking about that on the Weather Channel, and all the weather forecast stations around here, like the local news. It's unbelievably hot, global warming, this, but no one really ever talked about the week or two in June when it was about 52 degrees. No one talks about that because that doesn't fit their
Hmm.
fit their agenda. Even
Was
though
that was that in your area?
yeah, up here in June, I was wearing a snow hat to work because it was that
Wow.
cold in the mornings, and then it would get up to like 54, and then the day's over by then, and then now in January it's 62 degrees all of a sudden. Not
Well,
today, but today's more seasonal, I guess you could put it. It's like 37, 42, something like that. But
yeah, that's what you would expect it to be here, somewhere in and around that area, maybe even in the 20s for January. But this past summer, and I've lived in Alabama since 2009, so I've been here like 11 years, and I've never had a summer like this past summer, excuse me. It was literally from the end of April, beginning of May, until right before I left for Florida, October 16th. It was literally ungodly, putrid humidity, and like it wasn't, you know how you have like these little heat waves and then they
yeah,
go away, you breaks, you get some cool, breezy, summertime, normal days, and then you'll have another heat wave come along. The whole fucking summer was a heat wave. It barely rained at all, yet we had this stagnant humidity over us the whole time. It was ungodly. I didn't even lay out all summer because it was just too fucking hot to lay out. And yeah, I just like hope and pray that we don't have another summer like that. My electric bill was over $300 for 3 months straight, which I don't usually have that kind of issue. Usually here in Alabama, at night it cools off because we have so much forest and stuff around us that
yeah.
at nighttime it naturally cools off. Not at all this past summer. It was stagnant, putrid hot all through the day, all through the night. It's just like never ending. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, it's been like that up here a lot in the summer. This summer it was very humid. I play a lot of golf when it's nice out, so it's not like you're in the elements per se playing golf, but you're outside. You're
Mhm.
subject to whatever weather it may be on the day, and yeah, I took my we had a vacation probably sometime around the end of July, early August, and me and my brother, we got a room for 4 or 5 nights down in down near the beach in Rhode Island, Connecticut area, somewhere around there. And
Mhm.
yeah, we went golfing about every single day. And oh man, honestly, the high temperature never got anywhere near like 85 or 82. It was just so humid out. You would think it was like 85, 90, like that dew
Dude,
point
I got
and the heat
pictures of
index. Yeah.
I got pictures of my car. Okay, so when you get in your car, it's hot because the air's been trapped in there and it's maybe sitting in the sun all day or whatever. But I have a carport, so my car sits in the shade when it's at home. And even if I got in the car and put the windows down and start driving, let things cool off, I
Yep.
was taking pictures of the temperature gauge in my car. It was reading 115, 118. So even though it was like 98 degrees here or 99 or not, even if it was 96, 97, it would feel like 105 or feel like 110 or whatever. It
Yeah.
was so oppressive that literally we couldn't enjoy any outdoor activities whatsoever. And the bugs this past summer were just ungodly. It was like Jurassic bugs or something. I don't even know. I saw bugs and that I've never even seen before, first off. And it was like they were just like super bugs. If you got bit by a mosquito, it was going to swell up, leave a bruise, and just hurt for like a week straight. It wasn't even
Yeah.
like your average mosquito bites
And draw
or
blood too. Just like
I
up
was just
here,
like,
same thing. Same
I
thing.
thought, like, where the fuck am I here? I'm in Bizarro World. We got like Jurassic fucking mosquitoes out. You can't even go out for 5 minutes to do anything in your yard. You're getting attacked, and then, of course, 5 minutes after that, you're drenched in sweat anyway. And God forbid you have any health issues. Like my mom, she's older. She couldn't
Yeah.
even, go out and take a walk, try to exercise because she had knee replacement surgery. She'd
Yeah.
come back and she'd be, I'm like, don't go out in this heat. Do you want to die? you know? But yeah,
Oh,
I hope we don't have another summer like that. That was horrible. I
yeah.
I
fully understand that. It's been rather humid. Got a ball on the screen here. It's humid in Mass this year, but it's honestly for me, it's been the last 2 or 3 years because I used to work in this factory. It was we made saws, to make houses and shit. And when it got hot in there, man, it got hot in there. So I kind of just became immune to the heat. So I'm kind of happy I worked there in a way, even though it was the worst like human experience I've ever had. But it just got me so used to the humidity and the heat that it doesn't really. I could wear like a long sleeve like Under Armour underneath my golf shirt in the middle of the summer and not be affected. A lot of people, like my brother, he looks at me and he starts sweating looking at me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and that prevents me from getting all these crazy bug bites that everyone's is getting, because I'll throw the high socks with the shorts and the long sleeve, and that only leaves a couple inches for them to go at. And I got like thick Indian blood from my father's side of the family, so they're not really looking for me. But my brother, he's really really pale and really Irish, and they like that sweet blood.
Well, let me tell you, they were attacking me. They must like Italian blood too, because my
Yeah,
mother was getting
anything
eaten alive.
European. Yeah,
I would
anything
go out and
European.
I'd start doing a little yard work, maybe like, I have a fire pit out back and chairs and all kinds of stuff set up under the trees so you can kind of catch the shade while
Yeah.
the sun's setting, and it's real pretty. You couldn't sit out there and enjoy anything at all. And I made a couple of videos over last summer about how bad the bugs were and how big they were and how bad the bites were. I mean, not just mosquito bites. You got fire ants and all kinds of weird things
Oh,
out there that bite you.
yeah.
You don't even know half the time. You think it's a mosquito, and it turns out to be it was something else probably. But it was just like a vicious attack by insects this summer.
What about
It was
ticks?
crazy.
You guys had a lot of ticks down there, because I picked a lot of
Yeah,
ticks off me on the golf course this year for like the first time ever, really. Like they
yeah.
haven't
I
really.
mean,
I've seen ticks, they give you the warning all the time, but they were never out like they were this year, and they were
yeah.
big too. It's not like
We didn't.
you couldn't miss them. You couldn't miss these ticks.
Yeah, they are a little bigger, but I didn't have anything unusually, alarming with ticks this year. Every once in a while, I'll find one throughout the season, one or two, or one that might have been on my cat that got off and was maybe crawling on the arm of the chair or something. You know what I mean? My husband found like 2 or 3 over the summer, but and one I found on my cat by his ear. But
Yeah.
it wasn't too crazy that way. We're not. I think they hide in a lot of pine cones, the ticks, and on these low-lying plants, to where if the cat or dog brushes along those things, they jump on. And we don't have a lot of that pine cone stuff here and everything. But it was just ungodly. And like I said, with how mild the weather is now in January, I'm like, Jesus Christ, is it going to start what in March? We're going to have 100-degree weather. What is this?
Well, what years of doing the weather manipulation, it's come down to two things for me. Either A, that it's just they've done so much weather modification that the climate and the ecosystem that God created is just starting to fail, and it's being off by a couple months here or there. Or so it's unseasonably hot sometimes, and and other times it's unseasonably cold. So maybe
Hmm.
the environment is reacting to that negatively, as it would. Why wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
on the other hand, with all this weather manipulation, the patents that go back to 1811,
Yeah.
maybe they're just turning the switch on. They're just like, oh well, let's just scorch them over here today. Get that
Yeah.
simulator light going, kill the chemtrails,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
they'll heat it up. This is what I've noticed. This is they'll have the simulator out all day, and it's hot as hell. You can't even look at the sun. And then they'll start spraying it around 2 o'clock. And I think that layer of spray, whatever, because they had different combinations for different places,
Yeah.
different motives, different goals. I think that some of them are, there's a lot of like more liquid in there. So it oppresses, it keeps the heat in, and it just
Yeah.
starts venting on itself. And I think it just it just cycles the heat upon us. And with all the extra possible, because some of them, they spread no problem. They spread no problem. I think those are the ones that have more, the chemtrails I'm talking.
Yeah.
They have more like liquid in them in a way, but maybe they're more in a liquid state, these chemicals, and that could cause the humidity to spike, the dew point to be up, and it's gonna, the oppressive feeling is just unreal. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
yeah.
I used to think that in the beginning when I came upon weather modification that they were tinkering but they weren't tinkering the way they are now. I used to think that, all these crazy weather events and different areas that had unseasonable weather and stuff was maybe the weather try and correct itself because they've already tinkered with it. So on the back end, somewhere along the line, it's gonna readjust itself. Now I have reevaluated that over the years because I think all of it's just tinkered. None of it's an accident. There's no accident that the South was in oppressive heat. It was Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and part of the Carolinas that were just 24/7 through those whole 3 months. Oppressive heat, no break whatsoever. We barely even had any rain. How could you have that much fucking humidity? In the summertime, it's usually you get humidity, comes a thunderstorm. No,
Yeah.
no thunderstorm, no rain.
No.
It's like, oh God, please fucking rain so it moves away and it gets cool again. Maybe we'll catch a cool front, No, none of that.
No,
All of it. Even the polar vortexes that would dip down a couple years back, we had those here
Yep.
where it was like the jet stream just went practically all the way down to the coast of the Gulf there in Alabama,
Yep.
or maybe midway through my state. And
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
and it's like, oh, it's just some crazy phenomenon that's happening because of jet stream or whatever. No, everything's happening just the way they want it to happen. Like I said, they probably got the next 10 storms lined up and named and ready to go.
Oh my God, they got next year's storms lined up. They're so far ahead, it's not even funny. And real quick, I just remembered this real quick. Today at work, we have, I got a lot of regulars that come in, and where I work, it's a relatively small spot, and when you sit at the counter, you're actually sitting in the kitchen. It's open kitchen, so there's a couple of people I interact with on a day-to-day basis, and this one guy came in today, and we were talking about something, and I don't know what triggered this in him, but he looks at me. I was like, Stevie, you know what? I'm like, what's up, Richie? He's like, yo, you know what this guy's like 72 years old. He's like, you know what I think about this whole climate change stuff? I'm like, what's that? He goes, I think it's all a hoax. I was like, give me some knuckles, old man. Give me some knuckles.
I love it.
I was like, absolutely. I didn't want to break it down to him on why it's a hoax or everything, but I was just pointing it out to him that I'm like, when you were like, 30 years old, they were saying there's an ice age. Now they're saying it's global warming. Then they're going to say this. He's like, it's all just a hoax to get money. I'm like, yeah, essentially, but the hoax runs deeper than that. So I'm just happy that he could see that, and I might start dropping a couple more things on him now that I know he thinks climate change is a hoax.
Absolutely.
That ends a lot of roads,
He sounds like somebody who did not get many flu shots, because usually people up into their 70s are already starting to get forgetful and really don't want to delve into their way of thinking all this time. They're set in their ways and they're, just muttering along. And then, Alzheimer's and all these other things are going on, other diseases that come with old age, which could be a whole nother show. We're not aging correctly. We read The Secret Covenant the other night, and they put aging accelerants in our food. And a lot of the things in our food give us the diseases that we have. Many people who grow up in certain families that have certain eating habits have generations of these diseases happening because they cancer runs in my family, diabetes runs in my family. Take a look at what you're putting in your body. The people who are raising you are giving you their eating habits because they eat what they eat and they're going to feed it to their kids. Or even while they're pregnant, they may not eat very well either, and that, all that contributes to all this stuff. Gosh, I could just go so many different directions with that.
Oh, you're right. But the thing about this old man, he doesn't even have a television at home. He watches everything off of YouTube and stuff. So I might grab his number and just start sending him some random links of, Brian, because he's already on YouTube and he just shows me, random videos like car auctions and shit. So he knows how to use the platform. So I'm gonna, I might just, grab his number and be like, let me send you something about this climate change. And then I'll just send him a flat earth playlist or something.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea to do that. And then, get that dialogue going, and maybe he could subscribe to you and even eventually wind up in the chats or something. I love when I turn people on to stuff like that. Like there's a couple of girls at my job.
Yeah.
We're just kind of becoming friendly because they pass by me all the time where I work at and they're doing their work and stuff. And They're like, "What's up, girl?" You know, and I'm like, I started talking to her. She goes, she's telling her friend, she's like, "This girl knows some stuff. Like, she'll blow your mind. You just stand here for 5 minutes with her, and you'll be like, what?" And this girl that she brought over didn't know anything. Like, she had no idea that this Mandela effect thing is occurring. She's just muttering through her everyday life. Although she is Mandela affected because I asked her a few questions, and she remembers things how I do, but she has no idea about and it's funny because when I run into people, it's not even that it's a cognitive dissonance or anything. They just literally don't know
It's
anything.
hard.
Like
It's hard to know these things.
yeah, they're still sucked into the everyday matrix, entertainment
Fox
matrix, and
News,
all that other
CNN.
stuff.
Yeah,
Having to work and pay your bills, and hang out with your friends and all this stuff like that. Now, literally, none of this stuff ever comes across their peripheral at all. And I'll be saying something, and they'll be like, what? Like, well, you don't have time to explain this shit. I mean, hell, me and you do 5-6 hour shows trying to explain one thing. I got
I
5 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, check out my channel, TruthSeeker69, and they're like, okay, the TruthSeeker. I'm like, no, write it down. Here, look, this is what it looks like when you get to my page. I'm showing them on my phone and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Because I'm always eager to, I feel like the people who never wake up to what's going on, any of it,
I
even
feel
though
bad. I feel
even though they
bad.
might be good people and stuff like that, they're still being deceived on so many levels, and they're living a
Exactly.
lie. And they're actually eating things that are poison for them that could kill them and cut their lifespans and short and give them diseases and stuff. Like the one day at work, I saw a lady muttering past me with her Diet Dr. Pepper all around her cart. And she didn't look very healthy. She was probably in her late 50s, early 60s. I think, I don't know. But, when you have aging accelerants going into your body, you could be 40 something and look like you're 60 something.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's everywhere. But yep.
And she was really super nice. I didn't even really talk to her. She was just coming by. Hi, hon, how you doing? I said, ma'am. I said, can I talk to you for a minute? And I got it on video. I put it in a video like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I put it up. I said, look. I said, I understand you like Dr. Pepper, obviously, Diet Dr. Pepper. I see you got it all around your car here. She's like, oh, yeah, and everybody loves that shit here. I don't know why. They're addicted to a Diet Dr. Pepper around here. I said, look, this stuff's got some serious poison in it. And I told her about aspartame real quickly. She was very open to it, listened to every word I said. It wasn't like that, like I could tell she was really listening. You know when somebody's listening to you and when they glaze over. So I said, look, if you want to drink soda, drink your soda. Just don't drink the diet because you'd be better off just drinking the regular and just drink it in moderation if you have an issue with sugar or something, because people, they don't know how to do things in moderation. It's like, I like Dr. Pepper, so I'm going to have to drink the Diet Dr. Pepper because I have diabetes now. And they just keep slurping it down like it's okay. It's all good just because it says sugar-free. So you're good. Never knowing that you're being deceived into putting a poison into your body that's going to create all this other stuff down the road, not too far down the road either. And she listened and she put it back. I actually got her on camera. She was heading back over to put it up and get the regular. And I was like, and I'm not her doctor. I don't know what health issues she has. I said, look, I love you. I love everybody. And I look people in the eye when I tell them, I was like, I love you. I'm not just saying it to say it. I want them to see that I'm saying it from my heart. I don't know you, but I know that you are another me and I'm another you. So don't drink that shit.
Yeah, we're all brothers and sisters, which is why, some days I'm like, you know what? Y'all ain't going to wake up. Go fuck yourselves, whatever.
Yeah.
But, some days, most days I'm like, all right, let me try to break this down at a 5th grade level for these people because I feel bad, And the thing about the diet sodas, everyone thinks, oh, a diet's better, 0 calories, 0 sugar. Yeah, but all the additives in there are worse. They're man-made, whether it's real sugar or fake sugar. I try not to drink soda, but, every now and again I'll have a quick glass, but
every once in a while I'll have a sip of a Pepsi. I have trouble burping, so sometimes you swig down a beer or a Pepsi, you get a good burp out. So and it's like shocking to my system because I rarely ever drink it. It's like, oh my god, but it's going down my throat because it's so fizzy and stuff. I'm not used to it because I don't drink it anymore. But oh gosh, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. So the doctors tell these people who have diabetes, you got to stop the sugar. Go sugar free. Well, sugar-free, maybe the doctor's meaning like sugar-free, like stop the sugar completely. So these people think, okay, well, I'll just drink and eat sugar-free products. Well, what makes this shit sugar-free? And you know, because again, it says FDA approved on it, and they saw it on a commercial last week, and you know, it looks good, and these people on TV are eating it and drinking it. That's all they need. They eliminated critical thinking back when they brought in the tell lies to your vision, because everything is prepackaged and given to you. You just take it all in. You don't have to think about it. It's like it's FDA approved. I don't got to read what's in it. And even if I do decide to read the label, I'm not going to really be able to pronounce half these words. I would have to literally research every word that I'm reading. And I'm standing here in the supermarket. I don't got time to do that. Throw it in the fucking cart. We're going. You know. And besides, it's cheap too, because you can get like real maple syrup if you go to the syrup section, because they have all this sugar-free syrup, Aunt Jemima and all that crap like that. But the real maple syrup will be on the very, very top shelf, and it'll say $8-9 for a bottle this fucking big. But you can get a bottle this big of Aunt Jemima for $1.88, because that's got all the fucking high fructose corn syrup in it. And then the Aunt Jemima sugar-free is even cheaper. You know, it's like they're not making it cheap because they like you and they want to help you out. They're making it cheap because they know that that's all you can fucking afford, and you're going to go after that instead of the $8 bottle of maple syrup that would be 1,000 times better for you. And no.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, you know, they a can of Pepsi is 99 cents, but a bottle of water is a $2.99. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But we just had Brian Staley join us. What's going on, Brian?
What up, B?
Hi. I first day of work, and he made me waste a trip out there just to pick up menu.
Oh no!
He's like, "Oh, you didn't with blah blah blah." He's like, "You're not dressed." I'm like, "You guys didn't tell me what to wear. I figured I was just coming to train, like you said. I wore restaurant pants. They want me to wear jeans there." And he was like upset that I didn't assume to wear like jeans to the restaurant. Like, how would I even know that?
Yeah, I mean, they need to tell you when you get there. Look, this is what you got to wear. You got to have these kind of shoes and stuff. I mean, anywhere you go, they tell you how to dress.
Well,
and
I just wasted $45 on Uber for nothing.
Most places don't even want you to wear jeans. Why would he expect you to wear jeans? You know what I mean?
He was kind of a dick. This guy. I don't have a good impression.
So he sent you home because you didn't have the right clothes on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back tomorrow. He wanted me to go back at 3:30, but I'm interviewing Crow at 11:30. I don't want to cut it too close. I'm like, well, I have a doctor's appointment, so I'm gonna go back at 5 tomorrow, do the training on the computer, and then probably start taking tables on Friday.
No, you weren't even going to be on the floor. You were going to be on the computer, and he still had an issue with your clothes.
Yeah,
dude, that's muffed up.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
I worked at Cracker Barrel for 7 years. I know all about dress codes and all this stuff because they would send your ass home if you didn't come in the way you were supposed to. Or even if you were wrinkled, they'd make you go in the back and pull an iron out and take your shirt off and iron that shit or go home.
Well, I mean, if you're going to expect somebody to be in uniform their first day and when they're training, when you're first meeting them, you should probably tell them that.
Tell them what the uniform is.
He said to me like, oh, well, you should have asked. And I'm just thinking, man, if I was myself right now, I would tell this guy to go fuck himself. But I can't.
It's his job to tell you what you need to wear. You're the one who's new.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I got to bite my lip. Like New Hampshire guy said, hate working for the man. It's hard, dude, especially like right there. And this guy's like swearing at me and shit. Not like you're a fucking asshole, but he's talking like I talk, but he's basically at the same time telling me I'm stupid for not fucking knowing what to wear there. Well, you didn't tell me what to wear. And I went with the default position, wore black shoes and fucking black restaurant pants with a black t-shirt. Like, what do you want me to do, guy?
No, yeah, that's what I would have showed up in. You know, if I get a new job in the kitchen, I'm going to wear my kitchen slacks and just a chef coat. And, you know, if that's wrong, well, fuck them, because that's right. It's ridiculous.
I know at Cracker Barrel, they tell you exactly what you need to have before you even get there. And if you show up without that on, they'll tell you, look, this is wrong, make sure tomorrow you have it right. Or we have to send you home. There's a very strict policy about that. So, I mean, if these people have a definite way they want you to look, they can't expect you to be some mind reader.
Yeah, well, they're going to give me a lot of hours, but it's more hours than I want. I don't want to. I'm going to work doubles on Saturday and Sunday and then have 3 other night shifts. I wanted 2 other night shifts. Doing 5 days and 2 of them being doubles, that's way more than I want to work, but whatever.
This sounds like the kind of place that you tell them you need off a day and they schedule you that day.
Well, I already told them I ain't working Thursday. There's just no way. That's my day that I do my show, so.
Yeah, you'll probably have a double shift on Thursday.
I won't do it.
That's crazy.
You want, I can always come up there and fix some situation for you.
Jesus Christ.
Look, you're gonna fuck with my friend Brian. You're gonna have to deal with my little friend here.
That just sounds terrifying. Fuck that.
And it's a virgin, Steve. It's a virgin. I've never tasered anyone with it, so.
Good God.
I got a little list already.
Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight? I mean, I obviously listen to what's going on. What else are we talking about?
I got some videos and pictures I took today of geoengineering and a weird looking sun in the sky. Well,
wow, speaking of that, have you guys seen vertical chemtrails? I've been seeing them outside my house, dude. Vertical. Like straight up vertical.
Straight up.
No idea where they're coming from. It's like there's an airport 5 miles away that's always been here or something, because the closest airport is fucking 30 miles. I mean, for some of these planes. I mean, obviously there's little ones that can take off at smaller places, but
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I've seen them. I haven't had any around here lately, but I had some chemtrail pictures that I showed Steve that were kind of like vertical looking, like as if it looked like they were launching from the ground somewhere not too far away or something.
Yeah, it's straight up, dude. And it's fucking weird because a lot of them have like squiggly patterns. Like they're not straight up, but they're like real squiggly, dude. Like like a tight S or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like, what the fuck? Why would it even? You think, why would it disperse like that unless they were flying like that? Why would their plane fly like that? Is it like wildly out of control? Is it not an airplane that's leaving that trail? Is it like a drone rocket that's going really fast, spinning wide? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the skies they're up here. What's it like over there, Brian? Is it just gray as far as the eye can see?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. This is literally like the New England. It's just every day is overcast. It's ridiculous, and you'd think there'd be a snowstorm or rain coming, but there ain't shit coming. I check the weather every day. I'm one of those people, and it's just ridiculous. When I was a kid, only fucking 15, 20 years ago, it would get cloudy, it would rain, and then the sun would come out. That's it. It's not cloudy for fucking 14 days. Sometimes you see the sun for, I don't know, 10 hours for a whole month. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just not normal. It's not normal, and it's not healthy for people. It's not good at all.
They wonder why I'm pissed off every day, because I'm not getting my proper sunlight, people. Jesus. Everyone's wondering why they got depression and all this other stupid shit that, it's all just fathoming your own consciousness, people. You can break that shit yourselves. You don't need the pill. You don't need this, that. You don't need the doctor. You don't need pharmacia. You don't need any of that shit. It's all poison.
You ever see the chem bomb video?
Who?
Did you ever see the chem bomb video that Crow has?
No.
Oh, you're gonna need to see that while we're on this topic. And seeing that he's on tomorrow with me. Let me dig it up and we'll do a screen share. It's like an orb that explodes and releases who knows what. And you got to see the footage. It's fucking insane. I'll bring it up while you guys are talking.
I'll tell you what, the way everybody was sick over Christmas, and it was so widespread, because I know people all up and down the East Coast, and I know some people in England from my subscribers and stuff. Everybody had an upper respiratory infection. It seemed to all be the same thing. They have to be spraying this shit. There's no way that just, through just travel and touching things, that everybody could have the same exact thing. And everybody had it all up and down the East Coast, all through Christmas.
That's crazy. Steve, you want to give me this? You want to give me the screen?
Yeah. Let me remove that.
Take that banner out of the way, though. That's going to be an issue. The comment.
I got you.
And it's a 6-minute video. If you want, I'll just play it. It's definitely something you'll want to see, Steve. You and Jeff.
Yeah. Play it at face value. No big deal.
All right, and it's this is on Crow's BitChute, and he'll be on with me tomorrow, guys. If you didn't know, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Talk about the lunar wave. Talk about this. Talk about really everything.
Okay.
Check this out. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
This is a pretty serious clip.
Yep.
I hope you guys pass this around. People need to see what's going on. I was setting up my scope. Crowette said, "Hey, look, there's an orb," and so manually I tried to get it in my scope's viewfinder, which is not an easy task. Anyhow, here's what I picked up. At first, I thought it was an orb, and it's very difficult to operate the scope manually with no controls because everything's in reverse and you're kind of just swinging. You know, what you see is backwards to what you're doing. This is the object that I picked up. At first, I thought, wow, finally we've got the telescope on an orb, but this is no orb. I've seen orbs and I've seen a lot of things that are bright like a welding arc. This thing was super, super white, but the sun is going down behind it. Now, what happened here was there was a chemtrail that it's going through now that had been laid, I don't know, 10 minutes prior, 15 minutes prior. It was already starting to widen out. And then there was a fresh chemtrail laid just over it. Now, I assume this was dropped out of that chemtrail plane. I don't know where else it could have come from. The chemtrails were very low and close together. As you can see, it almost looks like it has a phase on it. I don't know whether it's the sun coming through this thing or what's going on. But as this thing began to drop, I noticed another thing. You can see the chemtrails are going to the left, and this round, I'll call it an orb, it's not an orb, is going to the right, almost like it's being controlled somehow. It's going against the breeze that's pushing the chemtrails to the left. Now, watch this clip until 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You have to see what happens here. This was done over solid houses, miles and miles of solid houses. And I tracked it all the way down to the roof of my house, blocked me from seeing any further. And I edited this down because I have 15 or 20 minutes worth of footage of this falling. But anyhow, in a second here, you're going to see what happens. Here it comes. Boom.
What the fuck?
And all this, I mean, Lord only knows what's in this. I show you a few views here where I change the color, I slow it down, I zoom in. Now, here comes again.
Dude.
It looks like it got shot or something, but I didn't hear any bullet or anything like that. It just blew up. The crazy thing is all this stuff was falling, and I had the opportunity to track the stuff that was falling, and I think I picked the wrong object. What I ended up, by the time I got it on the computer, I realized I tracked the container that held this crap that they blew up over houses. There's a red thing that you'll see in the following footage. This picks up again right at the explosion. The lowest thing you can see here is like a red ember, and I was looking in a 3-inch LCD, so I couldn't really tell. So I picked up the brightest thing, which is that white thing, which I believe is just the container that held this crap, whatever it is, nanobots, chemicals, who knows. But it's all falling down into neighborhoods where there's wall-to-wall houses. I'm calling this thing a chem bomb. I don't know what else it could be. I didn't see it come out of the plane, but I don't know where else it could have come from. It fell against the wind. The prevailing wind was blowing the chemtrails to the left of this frame, and this thing fell to the right. There's the red object again near the bottom. It's a glowing ember, and you can actually see jets moving away from it and sparkles come. At any rate, I'm going to speed this up at some point so you don't have to watch it just fall and fall and fall. But I tracked this all the way down, and this stuff fell on houses. You know, I filmed some astonishing clips. I filmed what I think are holograms on the moon. I filmed boomerangs that are clearly under intelligent control. But this clip right here needs to get passed around. Whatever they dropped out of this plane and whatever blew up out of this chem bomb fell all over houses. I don't know what else to say about it. Anyhow, I'm going to quit talking. If you want to watch the rest of this, you can. It just shows the container falling, and you'll see sparkles and other things come as it goes down. But I tracked it all the way down until my roof blocked me from seeing it, and I know damn well this fell on people, houses, gardens, water. Just, it's ridiculous.
Crazy, huh?
Dude, that is so fucked up. I mean, imagine how many of these are happening all around the plane. You know, this is just one that somebody, you know, he caught it, but God only knows. Boy, I tell you what, some crazy shit
That's a
going
whole
on.
new thing, right? Have you guys seen one of those yet?
I have not seen nothing like that ever.
I'm blown away. I'm perplexed. I got no words, man. I got nothing. That's ridiculous.
What the fuck are they doing?
falling onto the houses. Where does this cat live?
That was in California. I think around San Diego or something. It was filmed.
Okay, that's strange because I was just thinking in my head, you know, they had all those weird fires in California last year and the year before where just blew up houses and not trees and, you know, the forest. It wasn't a forest fire clearly, but maybe that's how they go from house to house, just blowing them up because they have some unseen
The footage is actually
technology. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but yeah, it's
the
weird.
The footage is actually from 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Oh, there you go.
No way.
I honestly didn't know about it either until
wow.
Because Jason Lindgren's girlfriend is the one that, you know, she reached out to me to see if I wanted to do the show with Crow, and so we were talking about a few things, and then she started talking about the chem bomb, and I'm like, I didn't see the chem bomb. I guess he showed a part of it in the Shoot the Moon video, which I just watched. I'm like, I don't remember no chem bomb, so I just saw this the first time myself, like, you know, 2-3 days ago maybe.
Wow.
That's wild, dude. That's so wild.
Crazy. It does kind of look like it exploded, like as if, say, it got shot by something. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, it could have just been controlled, obviously timed out to do it at a certain time.
Yeah. It didn't really seem like you didn't see another object in the sky come and grab it and blow it up on the infrared. You would see that on the infrared, not the actual camera, because it could be going so quick, but infrared gets everything. So
you would have seen that.
Some sort of combusted thing that was put there or threw out of a plane, or maybe that was what happens to the quote unquote satellites. I'm not too sure. You know, that's crazy, Brian. That's a wild video. Never seen that in my life, and I hope I never see that in you know, in my fucking eyes outside. That's crazy. That's some scary shit. That's wild. But hey, my dog is barking like a maniac on the other side of the door. I'm gonna just take her out real quick. You guys want to hold it down for like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, another thing too is that kids are being born right into this shit, and to them, this is normal. Like Steve was saying, you know, like 40 days with no sun, and you know, every once in a while you get a sunny day, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's sunny out. It's like sunny days are like a rarity. It's so sad.
They're used to the white sun and they're chilling with the wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's all good. You know, it's the way it is.
Fucking wolves in the house. We're chilling under the fake sun. It's all good.
Yep. And from the second they're born, all of us really, we're born into the deception before we ever even get a chance to even look around and figure out what this place looks like when we're, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old, trying to put things together, and you're looking at your environment and stuff. It's already pre-programmed into us that we're on a ball spinning through space before children even get a chance to try to perceive where they're at. It's already instilled on them. It's all over their clothes. I did a video about kids' clothes section with space all over everything, and literally like onesies for babies, you know, with Saturn and Jupiter and stars and moons all over it. So it's already put into their head way before they even get an inkling to try to figure out what this place looks like. It's already there in their heads. They don't have to think about it. No critical thinking. It's space, and you're on a ball hurtling through it. Let's say hi to the chat. I'm going to see some people here.
There's like 50-something people in here right now.
I know, 55 people I got. Rick Swain, what's up? Christopher Millington, how you doing? Jackson Zunson, I never say that right. How you doing? Blue Wigand, I think I said that wrong, but how you doing? Flataccord Music, tell me truth. Excuse me. I'm just going to say Tommy, tell the truth. Tell me the truth. Voynich, what's up? How you doing? I saw you in my stream the other night. I didn't get a chance to really say hi to you, but I did put you on the screen comment. OVIC. Oh, it says OVC. How you doing? What's up? And David Wolf. I don't know if I said David Wolf. How you doing? Go back down here. Tracy, what's going on, girl? I have a little echo. I can hear it. Edith McFetus, what's going on? John Q. Captain Rankin, Martin Ellen, and I think I got everybody there. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Detroit, Rock City, what's going on? And Jeremy Forbes, how you doing?
Look at this homo.
Alrighty.
Wow, this guy. This guy.
What do you say?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
It wasn't about you. It was about him. Called him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Watch out, Brian. We're gonna fucking get you with that.
Don't fuck with Philly.
Philly and Bama.
Fuck Philly. You're not even in Philly. You're in fucking Alabama, you hick. Shut the fuck up.
Trust me. I am a
Alabama.
Philly girl trapped in Alabama here.
That's fine. We smacked it from Philly all day long for breakfast. Right, Steve?
Breakfast, dude. Lunch and
I
dinner.
go into Steve's work. He's cooking breakfast. I go in there and smack Philly bitches in the face.
Whatever. You
With
wish.
cream cheese. I put cream cheese, Philly cream cheese on my hand. I fucking slap you right in the face.
That Philly cream cheese.
You guys are terrible.
Oh man. All right, but I'm gonna throw a little something on the screen real quick. This is just a 12-second vid I got earlier today of the sun. And I don't know if that looks natural to any of you guys, but I didn't see a circle there when I looked at it.
Go back. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see the edges.
Yeah, especially on the
Right here and right there, right?
on the bottom too. I mean, it looks like a stop sign, bro.
Yeah,
Yep.
literally. And it's just white, and you couldn't even look at the sun. And this is through the clouds. This is through layers of chemtrails. That's what bothered me a little bit. Well, a lot. This bothers the fuck out of me that people don't understand that their sun is, I'd say 28 out of the days of the month, at least 28 is a solid hexagon. People just don't see that, and it just bothers me that people have no idea that they're, first of all, they're being lied to about where they live, being lied to about what's in the water, being lied to about everything that's on TV, and yet their sun is a lie all of a sudden.
Yep.
Not all. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell these people.
I don't understand why it's such a triggering topic to people, especially in the flat Earth community. I mean, like you threw out the whole heliocentric idea, and you want to think we're so crazy for thinking there might be something mechanical and artificial up there, because that's crazy. Well, what's holding up your fucking sun that you think is solid that's up there in the first place?
Exactly.
Gravity? I mean, come on.
Yep. And we already know there's patents for the sun simulator, and pictures have been taken of it and stuff. I don't know why people get stuck on one level of things and can't go beyond that. It's not a good thing to be stuck like that.
No, the patent originates back to 1904 is what I tell these losers. I'm like, what are you, stupid? Like, they've been talking about this officially since 1904. So what do you think's going on?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Also, we were seeing a lot of hexagon pupils there for a while. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
That definitely has something to do with it. Don't say you don't know if you know that has something to do with it. Sorry, I don't.
I don't know how it connects to it, but it has some kind of connection. It's obviously the same shape, and it's super odd. It's like, what the hell's going on with this?
What is that? Some like NPC shit?
No, Jen got him. So did Blaze. A couple other people. They made videos. Jen's went back a little though, right? Jen, are they all the way back?
Yeah, I haven't taken a picture recently since the last time I showed you, Brian, but I didn't have it like I had it the first time. So, and I even had a friend of mine at that time send me a picture of his pupils because he has real blue eyes, and you can see the pupil. I have really dark brown eyes, kind of, so I have to put a filter through it to get to see the pupil itself. But his eyes, you can see it right away too.
Well, there's also a whole disinformation campaign about when you see hexagons in the sky that they're really circles. Me and Paul did a video on this last year that literally made up this whole story about how your brain misfires. That way, when you see a hexagon sun, you just say, no, that's a circle. The story is crazy. It's
never in my life have I ever experienced anything like this at all. I'll be watching a show on TV. They'll do a close-up of somebody's face, and I'll pause it because I'm like, oh my God, look, you can see the fucking hexagons. Many times I caught that on.
Here's the thing. People will say, oh, well, it's just because of the chemtrails that you see the white sun and not the yellow. So when did chemtrails, and let's just say the chemtrails did whatever the atmosphere and changed the color of what we observe the sun. How does that change the shape?
Yeah, and besides that, on a clear sunny day, it's not yellow. It's still white.
Yeah, exactly.
With like a little blue aurora around it. I don't know if you guys have noticed that at all.
Yeah, I know. Like I told you, we talked about it. I've noticed that, but for me, it was a little more towards the purple side. But we could be talking about the same color too, blue, purple. You know what I mean?
It's like indigo. Yeah.
I remember one time I was out and I was looking at the sun, and actually I was laying out, so I was kind of sweaty. I was laying there. It was a couple years ago, and I squinted my eyes and looked at the sun because it was right above me. It was like 3 o'clock high, and the way I was squinting, it looked like the sun was doing the same thing that the stars do when we see what they really look like. You know, that real watery pattern going over it and stuff.
Or
Yeah.
liquid.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it was the way I was squinting and my own eyes were starting to water up, but I never saw it like that before, and I kept squinting my eyes to look at it because it looked so much like the stars, you know?
I can actually, I could probably bring up that article, Steve. Let me see.
Ooh,
Still
which
have-
article? The one telling everyone that it's
Yeah,
normal to see the hexagon?
Yeah, it's actually not here in my notes. I thought it was. Never mind.
That's okay. But no, it makes sense, dude. You can't watch a sporting event without them doing a pan up at the sun, and it's a blatant hexagon. And they show it for like 2 seconds, and then they cut to a commercial every time. They're just pre-programming that with everyone, making it normal. You know,
Yeah.
this clips in like shows that are 2006. You know, and the sky's the sun's a hexagon.
Yeah, I sent you that
ridiculous.
video clip recently, that documentary I was watching. They showed the sun in it. You know, it was just a regular documentary, and it was an outside scene that they were showing, and the fucking sun was a hexagon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they get everyone, dude. It's crazy. They just normalize it, and it's no coincidence that like all these new companies and not even new companies, but companies are resorting to hexagonal type logos. Like Walmart now has the hexagon logo. I can't even think of the rest. I had a list somewhere, but
You guys remember the Walmart logo with the white dot in the center?
Yep, I do.
Okay. Yeah, I asked some people at Walmart, and they didn't know. They're like, "Oh yeah, it was like that." Well, when did it change? They're like, "Oh, I don't know, but it's been this way for a while." And I'm like, "So you're telling me like you went home one night, you come back, and it's just there? Like they came in when Walmart opened 24/7. They came in somehow when you weren't there and switched everything out, your vest, all the tags and cards and everything that has Walmart logos on it, and you just happen to miss it." You know?
Can I get the screen, Steve? I can show you that thing I want to show you about the hexagon article. I actually have it brought up right here in the video. Let me just rewind a tad. You'll have to hear me narrate it, but
Voynich. Voynich said, geez, too weird. Yeah, and people are saying it's like a laser beam. It really was. Yeah. I was like,
Holly.
No, it looks like Chrome might crash on me. Nope. So you can see my screen, Paul?
yeah, it's got the optical illusion stuff on.
Yeah, so here's an article on a site called lifescience.com. Solved how optical illusions turns circles into hexagons. and isn't it funny that they would use the example of yellow circles like the sun? Okay, stare at the cross in the center, and it just tells you to do all this nonsense and tells you, it goes into, I'm not going to read this all. Anybody that wants it can get the link. It goes into this whole spiel, how to tell you your brain playing tricks on you and your eyes, and there's like trauma to the back of your eye and all this shit that causes you to see a hexagon when it should really be a circle. It goes on and on and on. It's a clear disinformation piece, in my opinion, for when you stare up and you look at the sun, you see a hexagon. They want to explain to you why you see a hexagon, and you're really seeing a circle, even though you see a hexagon. So what they say is, if it's a trick of your eyes, let me ask this, Paul. Why it's not about staring at it and then your eyes forms it into a hexagon, because I can just take out a camera and flip it up for 2 seconds, take a picture of it, and I can still get that hexagon. And like you said, Paul, why isn't everything else we look at that's a circle, looks like a hexagon?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, that's ridiculous.
If you want to get that article, it says in the address bio. Just search lifescience.com, optical illusion circles hexagon, and you should be able to get the article if you want that. It came out in November 2011, actually. This article came out. I just came across it, last year doing a solar simulator show, looking for some research on the hexagon and the other occult connections with the hexagon. And the way the hexagon is, it's like the most efficient shape. That's why honeycombs are in hexagons and things like this. If you're going to pack shapes together, that's what they use. So,
Well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's no coincidence that within their hexagonid, their patent, the solar simulator, like you said, the honeycomb is inside there. Hexagon on hexagon on hexagon, and a hexagon is just a cube, and we know the cube is Saturn, and we know that Saturn is Lucifer. So, what the fuck's really going on, people? It's more just Luciferian occultism, down to the finest speck. And here, let me just share this real quick.
So they're indoctrinating you into it, and then they're also taking away your ability to critically think, and even like on the level that we do, like, hey, that's not right, that's not normal, it's something else, it's not the sun. They're already giving you the prepackaged reason why you may see this. So don't think about it, because we've already given you the reason for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's ridiculous. Predictive programming and indoctrination.
Yeah, and I mean, they're gonna tell you when you look up and you see when you see a hexagon, it's really a circle. And the example they give you is a yellow circle, just like the yellow sun. I mean,
exactly, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Color. Why does it have to be yellow?
They know that we were going to be seeing it and people were going to question it, so they put this shit out way before and fucking give the answer for it already. So it's like, okay, no problem. I don't have to think about this anymore. They just told me it's an optical illusion. My eyes play tricks on me. Let me just move on with my day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just like to show people that citations for this patent go back to 1904. I understand patents expire in 20 years after being whatever, but it's not like the idea goes away.
Yeah.
It's just
somebody else is refining it and stuff like that. There's plenty of patents out there that people expand upon. And
NASA has one now. Boeing, Pratt and Whitney. In Germany right now, they have the world's largest solar simulator, and it can literally melt like an iron, like an iron box, just by focusing all the light on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And people see nothing wrong with that.
I've gotten a rash one time when I laid out. I know a lot of people were talking about that in the last couple of years, and I had never had that happen to me. It was the first time that I had laid out. Usually the first time I lay out for the summer, I get that, light burn. I don't really burn a lot because I'm Italian. But I actually had like bumps on me and stuff. It was the oddest thing. I didn't know what the fuck it was. And I wasn't using anything different. I use all natural stuff, and I don't know what it was doing to my skin, but I had a reaction for sure.
Absolutely. And, why wouldn't you when, this is just...
Because it's foreign. It's foreign to my skin, and my skin reacted to it,
Absolutely. Like, I don't know how people don't see that this is not the sun of, 2010, 2006, 1999. I can remember back, I'm born 95, and I can remember shit in 96 and 97. I thank God that I got my long-term memory, but, sometimes I can't remember what happened last week. And I think that's just due to all the, the artificialness that we're around all day. You can't even have a glass of water without getting, dumbed down a little bit.
I don't understand why people are so against the possibility of the sun not being natural when we got I mean, we've already not accepted like laying down accepted, but we've already accepted the skies are completely not natural.
Right.
The weather's not natural.
Like, dude, look at the clouds all around this. Not a real cloud in the sky.
Why wouldn't you think the fucking sun would be controlled? I don't understand what's the big deal. Right, and I know people that will say, "Oh, well, God talked about the sun in the Bible or whatever." I'm not saying that sun doesn't exist. I'm just saying what the nutrients and everything and the connection we get from the real sun's been hijacked. They're hiding it, and this is what they put up there.
Yeah, it's been overlaid.
And it's satanic.
Absolutely. Like, look what they got to put in front of the sun so we don't see it,
Or they have these excuses like our sun's changing, it's going into another phase or whatever like that, and that's just why it may look different from different times or whatever like that. It's all bullshit.
Oh yeah, just more big space science numbers that they nebula, internebula, all that other stuff. It's just all unfathomable. It's all ridiculous. It's all lies, people. Space, you can't go to space. People think you can go to space. It's fake, people. It's all fake. It's all a lie.
Like, remember that show Lost in Space?
Yeah, I used to watch that.
I think people are lost in space, and they want to keep you out there lost in space so you don't fucking ever figure out what's really going on.
Huge fucking Mandela effect for me on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. The key phrase from the show: "Danger, Will Robinson, danger." When the robot used to go,
danger, Will Rogers. I remember that.
Yeah, he doesn't do that no more. He does it once. In one episode, he does it like that. And all the other ones, it's totally different than it used to be. Check it out sometime. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have to look at that. I know it's an old Mandela effect, but I never really looked into it.
Yeah, I used to watch that growing up with my mom, so I know that one for sure. When that changed, I was like, oh, hell no. He used to always say, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger."
You know what? I've also been seeing a lot of monkeys that look like
You're a monkey, remember?
Yeah, whatever.
We're all monkeys.
Anyway, they all look like Curious George, but they're not Curious George, the character. But they all have tails. It's like you'll see these baby bags with these monkeys on it, or little toys, or whatever, logos, or whatever it is. And it's like, well, that monkey looks just like Curious George, but they all have tails, but for some reason he doesn't, and he never had a tail. It's like ridiculous. I just been picking that up lately. And unicorns. I fucking hate unicorns. They are evil. They're everywhere.
Well, you know, what's it called? The last Transformers movie that pretty much just showed you how they're going to bridge their world to ours. You know, it was called, well, that's not, they changed the
Rainbow
title.
Bridge.
Yeah, they changed the title of it. The original title was, oh my God, what was it? Rise of Unicron. And they changed it to The Last Night. So just more weird unicorn. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just weird. Just rather weird. But I'm just, someone in the chat asked how many solar simulators do they think they got up there, and I'm just looking for this Boeing commercial that showed multiple solar simulators. So if you guys want to address that and ask them how many, or answer how many you think are up there while I try to find this video.
Gosh, I would have to say there's got to be over 100 probably across the plane, if not more.
Well, how many suns do you think there are up there? I know it's a different question, but how many suns do you think there are? I think there's one true sun.
I don't know. Paul Knight has a really interesting spin on that. He seems to think that, on the flat plane that there may be quadrants where there's suns in certain spots that are doing their thing, like say over Africa and, over North America and South America and stuff, like in those quadrants. So there might be multiple suns. We really don't know. We just don't know. We don't know anything about what's going on. We may only have half the picture, and the half we have is right, but we don't have that other part, so we can't really expand on anything. We think, it's just flat and there's just the moon and the sun and that's all that's going around. But there could be a lot more natural stuff going on, like aspects to it that we're not fully understanding yet.
You looking for that ad? If you didn't find it yet, give me the screen for a second. I can show a still from the Boeing ad with the solar simulator. I have it ready. And I just give you the screen right back.
Another thing that's interesting, guys, is the ley lines. If you look at the globe and you see where the ley lines are, and you take that and you put it down onto the flat map, and it really literally is the flower of life pattern on it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Absolutely. But yeah, I don't even need to look anymore. We could just look on the what we got here, the still. You got 1, 2, and you got 3 over there. So, and that's from a Boeing commercial that shows a solar simulator with the honeycomb hexagonal patterns that we were just making up. We're just pulling that out of thin air. We're seeing it by accident. Our eyes that's ridiculous. They put it right in our faces.
Yeah, they're making it like it's up there in space.
Yeah, they're one of the major people holding the patents as well. Make sure people know that, because it's not just that it's NASA. It's primarily Boeing has a lot of the patents. Boeing, NASA, Bausch and Lomb, and then
isn't that NASA has their planes where they have those big telescopes out the side of the plane? They're all Boeing planes. I'm sure they're all contracted.
Yeah, Boeing is manufacturing a lot of the stuff that NASA has their label slapped on. Boeing and NASA are totally hand in hand.
Oh yeah,
there's no difference. I mean, one just happens to fly an airline as well,
Exactly.
Or make jets. I mean, they don't fly and they don't have a Boeing airline, but they make the jets.
Oh yeah, you're right. And Boeing, the whole Boeing conspiracy goes a lot deeper. As you're not stupid, Brian. 9/11. They were Boeing airplanes. So
yeah,
there you go. They got their
they know that they didn't lose any airplanes and they didn't lose any employees, so they're completely complicit.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah.
the name itself, Boeing, like it reminds me of like the curvature of the Earth is like bowed, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Boeing. I don't know. It just hit me just now when you were saying it. It never occurred to me before, but they hide this kind of stuff in plain sight, you know?
Oh, obviously, you know, it's what they have to do. That's how they
Like
get
instead of
their
it's flat,
guilt out.
it's Boeing, you know? I don't know. Another mind fuck.
That's how these people roll, you know. They
Absolutely.
they can't not tell us part of the truth. They can't.
Yeah.
That's how they, you know, that's how they free their guilt, in their opinion.
Yeah, like planet. You know, that's another one. We've been saying planet all this time. We are on a planet. It's a planet. We just say it differently. And if you look at it from the respect that, you know, we're on a plane, a vast plane, but we're cordoned off into our section of the pod or pond or whatever, we're on our planette. You know, the smaller version of the larger plane. So we've always had that word in our face all this time, and I didn't make that connection until I came upon flat Earth and that we fly in airplanes over the plane of the Earth. You know, it's like that's always been in my face. Why isn't it an air ball or an air glober or something or whatever?
Exactly.
A globe flyer. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But let me just get this shared real quick. This is just another video from today. This is just, you know, the complete gray out, the complete gray state we live in.
Nice.
And as far as the eye can see all day, that's it. And it is. And they have these, like, I'll pause this. And in the middle of it, there's just these two random chemtrails going right through the middle of it. I just think that's really odd, weird.
Gray state.
Literally, yeah. I put that on the video as a title because that's what Massachusetts is now. It's one every day. This is how your day ends every day. And I've been doing shows long enough to prove that that's a fact, people. It's every day. Look at
those. Say bye-bye blue skies. It's they've been long gone.
Oh man, yeah. You know, they're blue for about 20 minutes, and then they're like, well, that's enough for these people. Let's wipe them out.
Like I said, though, you get in a plane and fly over that, it's clear blue skies, 35,000 feet and above. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, the chemtrails, or the geoengineering, they're close, and I think they're getting closer. I think we've talked about this before. The chemtrails and the clouds, they seem to be, you know, well within 5,000 feet sometimes.
Yeah.
The touching mountains in my neck of the woods, and you know, mountains in Massachusetts aren't really, you know, that high. So what's really going on? And just look how far you could see. I'm only at 700 feet elevation, guys, and you can see for miles.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's got that powdered out look. You know, those mountains in the distance and stuff. Even though you can make out the shape, they're all powdered out. Like you don't see any definition.
Yeah, you can normally see further, but you know, today they just bombed us out so bad. You know, you can't see as far as you should normally see. It's just ridiculous. But here, I got another video because I was just about to leave, and then I just looked to my right and I just saw all these crazy frequencies there. Wow. You see all that? Look at all that, dude. That's for miles. That's miles. Because I'm at a little elevation, so you see a little bit further, and that's a whole city just frequencied out. They're doing their thing over there. Clearly, they're doing their thing over me, but yeah, just blatant. They don't give a shit.
Like, you can't see any difference between the sky and the ground. It's like it's murked out all the way down the ground level. It's like you can't, like, before you would be able to see like the sky, the clouds, and then there would be a space and you could see the ground ahead of you. But now it's straight down to the ground. It's murky, messy all the way.
Yeah, just a gray state, you know? And above me, just these plasma looking clouds, man. I don't know what to call those. Like the rolling cloud effect. I have no idea. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I just got a camera. This shit's crazy.
It is crazy.
You posted something interesting on your Facebook. I'm just seeing it now, and I heard Awakened Saint had mentioned it this morning. I don't know if you're going to get into that. What's up with these rejuvenating fucking robots and shit that they're going to be putting in you, carrying medicine through your fucking body and all that? What's all that about? Did you look into it at all? Is it just sound like bullshit, or you think there's a lot of validity to it? What's going on with that?
You know, I didn't really read the article, but just in the title, from what what was shared, we all saw this coming. You know, I've been following. You know, like I've been talked about plenty of times. Nicholas in 1968. This is all in videos of his that he did 8 years ago. You know, so this is nothing new.
Yeah,
But
I think
we
it's a
saw them
ploy
coming
to
out
get
with this
people to
stuff.
want to take it. You know, if they put it out there like, okay, so we have this technology, you just got to inject it into you. It'll hook up to your neural network and stuff and help you be healthy and fix shit in your body and just keep you rejuvenated. People are going to love that shit, especially because everybody's slow, sick, and dying. You know, they're going to run out and be
Exactly.
like, yeah, I'll take that shot.
That's what I'm saying, and people are gonna, are gonna want to live longer, and then eventually it's gonna rejuvenate your cells, and it's gonna cure diseases, and it's gonna help you live longer and longer and longer to the point of possible eternity. That's what they're gonna.
And we
That's what they're
already
gonna
know from
present.
the secret covenant says that's not their goal. So
No.
all this nice, great stuff they're saying about this thing that can do all this stuff, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I like to point out to people is, they can't usher something like that in without there being some sort of airborne disease crisis of some sort. You know, like we've seen in all the movies that have happened.
Don't make people beg for it. People will line up and beg for it. They will want it.
Yeah,
Problem,
right.
reaction, solution.
You gotta, what's the movie series that came out a couple of years ago, The Maze Runner, the last one? It's called Death Cure. So there you go. It's just like that. And then what's that movie with Will Smith there? I Am Legend. Everyone died from some sort of disease outbreak. So they've been pre-programming us with that, getting us comfortable with that. Because when it happens, we're going to be like, oh, it's just like in that movie. Let's get our shot from the robot that can rejuvenate my cell, and it's all good. You know, they're ushering it in so perfectly. And then at the same time, they're going to do this, this fake alien thing that we've been talking about. So, it's just going to be hoax after hoax, deception after deception. And you just can't give in, people. When they say you need a shot to live longer, fuck that, just die, fuck it, fuck them. I'd rather die a man than be judged as a transhumanism, fucking upload my consciousness and live forever from rejuvenating cells, Fuck that shit.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's a way to trap us here once again.
Exactly.
That
See,
shit.
that's what I'm telling
They
people.
want us to stay here. They don't want us to go anywhere because if we get out, they're game over.
Exactly. And in the Bible, it says, "Death shall flee from men, and men shall seek death." They're gonna seek the death, and death is
They will be begging
already
for
gone.
it, and it will not come. Yeah.
Exactly, because you know why? Because you're in a robot in the AI universe now, trapped. That's
Well, they
not
used
the
to say
universe that
they
God
used to say
made for
about
us.
the microchip that they wanted to put, the RFID chip back in the day when they used to talk a lot about that, rice size kind of thing and everything. That it would people were saying, oh well, if I got the chip and I didn't want it, I would just get it taken out. Well, first off, you wouldn't be able to get it taken out because the doctors won't take it out. Secondly, it will make you not want to take it out. So if it has that ability to change your whole decision on wanting to do something, it's mind altering technology, And once
Absolutely.
it's in. It ain't coming the fuck out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once you in the Bible says, once you get the mark, there's no taking it back. It's gonna be visible in your forehead, not on your forehead, but God can look into your soul and just be like, all right, well, you took the mark, there's no return, and that's that. And I feel bad for all these people that we were talking about who've never had a chance to even see that what they're doing is just against God's creation, against His will, against the law of the land. There was thou wilt, and that's all these people know. And I feel bad, and I try to show them the other side, and I get yelled at, and I get made fun of and persecuted for telling everyone that free will is real, and there's a difference between right and wrong, good and evil. It's a battle for your soul. The more wrong you do, the more the more they got you.
The more you do it unwittingly and not knowing and under deception, it's because you never engaged your free will. You've just lived this lie and never emerged out of it because of all the crap that's overlaid onto us. But somehow we've managed to come through it and see it. And we're engaging our free will by choosing to see it, and not just see it, but apply it to our lives, live better lives, choose not the deception. because there's people like in the Matrix, they say, I just want to get plugged back in. I want to unsee this ugly truth and go back to the way it was. And some people do that. I've told people the truth and they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then it's just back to the normal thing. They never even think about it again after my conversation. Even though they agreed with me and saw what I was saying, it's just like, no, never mind. Then they go on and on and on and keep going through all the levels of deception, never realizing they're deceived, never engaging their free will. And this is the most important time right now that we're in, is that we need to use our discernment and engage our free will and say, no, we're not being deceived anymore, because they're deceiving you out of your soul. And it is a battle for our souls. These people are stuck on the physical level. It's just, entertainment and looks and money and status and religion, whatever. And when you get to these levels of being awake to these things, you realize that you fall away from this materialism and stuff, and it's not as important to you anymore and all that stuff. Absolutely. And, I'm looking at things now, like, because I don't plan on being here forever. And I know that I'm eternal and I'm going somewhere after this. And this is just,
I don't want to be here forever.
I definitely don't. Not in this situation. If it was some sort of a, beautiful garden like it was supposed to be, and we can choose when we want to leave our experience and how long we want to stay. But that's all been hijacked.
Yeah, without a doubt. They've taken the free will right out of the kids. And, and those kids are adults now. So what do you think they're doing?
They don't even give them the freedom to even have an inkling of a question of, well, what is this place that we're on? Or to even think to sea level water at the beach and it's right in front of their faces and never even question it, because they're already deceived into the globe immediately. Yeah. I mean, look, watch how many kids watch TV and movies before they ever hit preschool or kindergarten. They watch all this space stuff, and I used to watch the Jetsons and all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's just literally all programming and controlling your critical thinking, because you can't even critically think for a second to even ask a question that would go against what you've already been indoctrinated into.
Exactly. The globe lie runs so deep, and people, they're just like, I don't even know what you call it, just like dead fucking asleep to the fact that, like, it's possible that everything you've been told is a lie. I know it's a hard concept to grasp, but someone like me, I wasn't the best in school. I always got D's, C's, and a couple B's here and there, but never really a standout kid. And now I'm trying to tell everyone that everything that y'all learn, you guys strive to get A's and B's and be on the dean's list and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. All of that is based upon a lie, and they can't accept that fact. They get pissed off. They're like, I didn't just waste $12,000 a year to blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you kind of did, bro. You kind of did.
Absolutely. Because first off, you start to realize that the whole way we're living is wrong. So all these career-based, colleges and stuff like that, all the money people spend to do all this stuff, even the medical field, there's doctors out there that, go to a lot of schooling to have their careers and stuff. They're never taught what they're not meant to know. They only know the pharmaceutical way and their medical way of how you're supposed to treat things and everything, and not cure anything. Or the fact that, you're telling your patients to eat sugar-free because you have diabetes now. They don't tell you why or how you got diabetes. It's just that you have it, and now you need to give up sugar and eat sugar-free. But he's not going to sit there and tell you all about aspartame and what that all is, and that you're going to be putting this shit in your body now because I just told you to eat sugar-free. So it's all to perpetuate this ongoing cesspool of nastiness that we've been living in all this time. And if we were living the correct way, there would be no need for doctors. And if we were using our intentions correctly and something did happen to our physical meat suits, we would intentionally be able to fix it ourselves. We could heal ourselves. We could heal each other. But no, they have us going to this fucking person over here that went to, 24 years of school and got all these plaques on his wall and has a prescription pad on his desk. And you trust your doctor and you just love your doctor, They just doctoring you up enough to come back to them.
Right. Well, and the thing is, people, they can easily take care of themselves. I was just listening to parts of the Book of Enoch today, actually, on my way home from work, and It was talking about how water, is a great the spirit of the water can not heal everything, but it's a great healer. So you just do some like ancient research, people, and you'll see that if I've had it before. I've had an infection in my foot. I went to the beach. I put my feet in the water for a couple hours, and by the time I left the beach that afternoon,
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, the salt water
Literally good
pulls
to
out
go.
all the infection. It just pulls
Exactly.
it all out.
That's what he's talking about, I think.
Mhm.
Like,
Absolutely.
like obviously, if you got like if you have your fucking arm chopped, you're not gonna go in the water, and that's gonna make your arm come back. But
Right?
just simple things like that. Like even if you get a bee sting, you get some dirt, you take some water, you'd rub it on there, and good to go.
What else they don't tell us is like if you get poison ivy, right next to where the poison ivy is the plant that takes away the poison ivy. But
I
instead, you
didn't know
get
that,
poison
really.
ivy. You don't know anything about plants because you only just have biology once in high school or whatever, a couple of years, and you don't know that stuff. So you run to the doctor and get your prescription for poison ivy when actually the plant that's right next to it is the thing that you could put on it and it would go away.
Huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they got rid of all the shaman and stuff, They don't want you knowing this stuff. They all made it pharmaceuticals, and you got to pay for it. You got to pay to be born, you got to pay to die, and you got to pay the whole way in between.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, the whole pharmaceutical industry and what they're doing to those kids in college. Because I got a cousin, she's like a head rep for CVS or Walgreens or some shit. Doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
And she came home she lives in Maine, and every couple of months, her and her husband, fiance, boyfriend, I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. They come home, same job, they do the same thing, they work at the same place, and they started shame talking me because I didn't get my vaccine, I didn't get my flu shot. I was like, you guys are morons. You give people flu shots and they come back in a week or so because they're deathly ill and need some medicine. You don't
Yeah.
see that? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting into
They
this.
trust the
How does that
FDA,
work?
they trust the
Yeah.
CDC. These are the authorities that they have us brainwashed into thinking that this is who we have to trust. Our trust is so misplaced in this fucking overlay matrix that they have us in. We're just in a web of deception. And we think it's all real, and it's not. It's all fucking bullshit. Like I said, even the way we're born is wrong. The whole way we're living is wrong. Everything that we're taking into our system is wrong. For supposedly humanity to be smart and supposedly smart people who, engineers, and they create all this stuff and discover all this stuff and everything's ass backwards, wrong, upside down, and toxic. So the smart people that we think are smart that, build all these, nuclear things or whatever it is that we,
Going to
think that
space.
makes us so smart and modern and everything. We're literally ass backwards on every aspect.
Absolutely. It's funny, these assholes, these science people, they're like, oh, we're going to space, we're going to Mars, we're going to the moon, Jupiter, this, that, and the other thing. And then in reality, less than 8% of the world's oceans have been discovered. So
Yeah.
who's the real asshole? Is it me? Is it
Or
me?
that's what they tell us because
Well,
they
I know.
probably know exactly what's going on under the ocean. They're just telling us, well, we don't know nothing. It's just 8%
Right.
we got figured out, and that's it.
Well,
I
I'm just
mean,
saying on the consensus, on their main,
Yeah.
what they present as
Yeah.
fact and science. They push that, and at the same time, they say they haven't discovered shit in the oceans, but yet we're going to Mars, we're going to Jupiter, we're going to Saturn, we're going to Pluto. Get the fuck out of here.
I know.
NASA, they've literally been given $600 billion since its inception in 57 or 58. Can't quite remember. Doesn't matter really. 1 year. Who gives a fuck? And what have they produced besides weather modification patents and solar simulator patents?
They
NASA is
produce
supposed to be out
a
in
shit
space.
ton of poorly constructed CGI bullshit. That's what they've been. And they need to hire some new people because damn. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I said, that movie Gravity was 1,000 times more believable than what the shit you see coming out of NASA. I'm like, they need to hire these people.
NASA, to deceive people in Hebrew. It's that easy. And You know, fuck NASA. Let's go at NASA for just a minute because NASA fakery is just ridiculous, dude. And it's all in the name because I think you were talking about Jobulon the other day and how, you know, people go to their jobs and, you know, it's all worshiping these deities and NASA does it perfectly. Well, first of all, their logo is the snake's tongue, the serpent's tongue. People just deny that. People deny that harder than them not going to the moon. I found in my personal altercations. You know, they got their Apollo program, Apollyon, the only fucking deity named in the fucking Bible as being the Antichrist.
Yeah,
So
of course.
let's name our space program that. Nice.
Exactly.
And what rocket were they using? The Saturn I, Saturnalia.
Yep.
It's all right there. And now they got their new program, Orion. Who's Orion? Orion's Nimrod. Nimrod's Baal. Baal is, there you go.
Yep, exactly. Even Mars. Mars is an ancient god. Oh, Jupiter's an ancient god. It's all the ancient gods up there. That's all it is. Venus,
Mercury. Yeah, it's all just backwards. So backwards. And, you know, looking in the, you know, from a human standpoint here on the flat earth, you look up and, you know, you do have the wandering stars, but in reality, I think those are just the hierarchy of the watchers minus Lucifer.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's meant to be up there, whatever it is. And then NASA is using, you know, their disguise of, oh, it's a space station, it's a satellite, you know, that's what it is. It's something that's ours. You know, we put it up there. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Go watch TV. But I used to see that thing every night at 7:30. 1 year I was out, I saw it, and I thought, let me come out tomorrow night at the same time and see if I see it again. Because then I'll know that it's something that's repeating. It's not just one time I saw this thing, this dot up there moving along with you know, the stars that are stationary. And I did that every night for a week, and every night at the same time I saw it going across right above my house.
Wow.
I just stand up front and look up and just wait, and I keep looking at the watch and I'm looking, I'm like, there it is. And there it goes.
Dude, the shit in the sky freaks me out. It makes no sense. Like the moon the other night, it came up like fucking over here, and then by the time I got home from my 10-minute drive from work, it was like miles south. I was like, dude, I'm like, you're telling me it just cracked the horizon and then just dip right? Like, what is it gonna do? Just that it's gonna set over here now?
And how is it so big when it's low on the horizon, but then as it supposedly comes closer to us and gets above us, it's so much higher and brighter and smaller. You know what I mean? Compared to like if you see a supermoon come up, even those things are fucking huge. It's it doesn't match like what I'm seeing, like what doesn't make sense in my head. It's like, how can it look like that there? That enormous. And then you know.
I know what you're saying, but what I think for that phenomena is, well, see, I can't speak on fact right now. It's all pure speculation, but I think the moon is some sort of plasma, maybe some sort of like interdimensional technology type deal we don't know about. And I think when it breaks our horizon, it's just coming out of its portal and in a liquid state. So it's on a different color, and plus with all the liquid and the humidity in the atmosphere, that magnifies it, making it bigger. So why wouldn't this liquid ball type being look bigger? And then once it comes up and forms into its white shape, and then it's more of a solid type object. But then when it comes back down, it does the complete same thing, just on the opposite. It just it turns orange, red, and it just liquefies out of our perspective back into its portal.
Yeah, and how's it so red? Like, people would say when I was younger, because sometimes the moon would be really red.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, it's going to be really hot tomorrow because look how red the moon is. How the hell does it get that red like that? What is that? I mean, because if it's not reflecting the sun's light and it's its own light, how is it looking like that? So it's got to be some sort of a hologram because it has that refreshing wave that goes over it. And look at the hologram we saw in the stadium at the Baltimore Ravens. Look how real that thing looked. Very well, the moon could possibly be a hologram. It looks real. It looks like it has whatever going on the surface of it. I'm not going to call them craters anymore because I know that's not what they are. I don't know what they are, but
Did you see the most recent moon pictures that Dave Marsh took?
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. That was crazy. Here,
Yep.
let me go try to get those real quick.
Yeah, bring that up.
I'm getting a little echo there, Brian, too. Sorry.
I got the picture right here already. If you want me to
Oh,
show
you
it.
got it? Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I already pulled it up. Hang on.
Let me exit out of this and get back. All right. Yeah, dude, that stuff is crazy. I saw that. Like, you could like see around it. That was wild. And that's just, you know, NASA wouldn't release anything like that in their dreams, dude. Dude, like, how wild is that? That's what the P900 or the P1000?
I'm not sure what he's using for equipment. He might even be using something higher end than that.
Yeah, those are not craters.
Like, what is that though?
No fucking idea.
That's the good part about it. That's what I love about the moon. You can look at it for days, dude.
Like paint that boiled up and like peeled back and stuff, you know? Or Richie from Boston said something about frozen oxygen. Looks a lot like the moon. Frozen oxygen.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's crazy. That's just ridiculous. So what are like we seeing on the moon if they're not? Yeah, obviously we all know they're not craters made from asteroids, but what's if I was God? Say I'm God, right? I don't like doing this, and I make the Earth, the moon, the stars, the sun, and all that. Like, why do I put these craters on the moon? Why don't I just make it the lesser light, like he says it is?
Right, like it's just a flat surface, you know, with no.
Yeah, with just an illuminated, you know, it just does what it does. But then he puts all this detail on this to keep us stuck.
No, that could just be an overlay that we're seeing. Maybe we're not seeing what it really looks like. Maybe
a lot of people think that. A lot of people think there might be something under it overlaid with a hologram or a projection.
Yeah, well, dude, I've seen the moon. It's completely full, and I haven't seen it the same. From what I remember, hard in my memory for at least 5, 6, 7 years. It's different now, dude. It's completely different. Before you could literally see like the man on the moon laughing at you, smiling, and now it's just not there anymore, dude. It's crazy. Like I remember the first. I know it sounds stupid, but the first time I did mushrooms, like we were just blown away from the moon. It was a full moon, and you could see that fucker smiling at you. And
yeah, I remember it looking like that.
Yeah, and then since then, you know, I always saw that, and then over the past, like I said, like 5 years or so, it's just not there.
Maybe they updated their hologram, and you know, like
there's a lot of options with the moon because we don't know what it is. So we don't know if there's like Mandela effects going on, if it's an illusion and it's being changed. They just put a different fucking color light bulb. Like there's so many options. I think it's a combination of a lot of them, honestly, because I know that the man on the moon is a Mandela effect because you're not going to go back in the pictures and see it. What I want to know is all of these. Who's ever observes the moon a lot? Because I don't do it enough. Like haven't like logged observations. Like, but all of these fucking different crazy moons that we're having. Like, can we go back and find photos of these 20 years ago? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even know. What you can't, right?
No, dude.
They're like. Then what? Then the moon's been Mandelaed, or it's been fucking. They just started adding different colors, and I don't know, man. It's crazy, bro.
No, you're 100% right, man. That just hold on one sec. Where is it?
Listen, I'll stay in here, but I gotta go make a sandwich and stuff, so I'll be back in a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, you're good. Luke 21, 25, 26. Let me just share that. That's what this reminds me of. This is why the moon's changing, I think, guys. Luke 21, 25 through 26. There will be signs in the moon, in the sun, moon, and stars. On earth, nations will be in anger and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Well, I don't think 26 has happened yet, but 2025 is happening as we speak, people.
Yeah.
The moon fucked up. The sun's different. The stars are blinking. 100 stars are missing. There was
Yeah.
just a massive earthquake down in the Bahamas. And how, like I said, how many islands, how many countries own islands down there on Earth? Nations will be in
Steve,
anguish. Exactly.
Steve, were you saying, or it might have been you or somebody else was saying about Venus and Mercury?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay,
You
dude,
can
when you
see those
said
at
that,
night.
I listened to that show just earlier before we got on here, and I was like, fuck. See, I never even thought of that, and it's absolutely true. How the
Yeah,
hell are we
bro.
seeing Mercury and fucking Venus if they're over there behind us at the sun, and we're facing the dark, the darkness or whatever? I was like, wow. See,
And we're
it's another, and just listening to that show, I got that piece to my puzzle, and I'm like, duh. Like, wow, that's really a good one that you picked that up.
yeah, man. Like that's just literally, like physically, everything impossible. If
It goes against their model. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. And this is the thing is that they put this shit out. They don't keep their lies straight. One's saying one thing, 10 years later they're saying something else. It's ridiculous.
that's how they roll. They got like the moon or the sun's over here. We're over here. Venus and whatever in the middle. So when it's nighttime, it's dark over here. So how
Yes,
are we seeing the middle in the
exactly.
night? We should be seeing little dots go through the sky during the day, if anything. But we don't.
Exactly. We should see that shit during the day. I remember they would show NASA stuff. This is back when I used to look at the sun for CMEs and stuff, and I was still in space. And they would show like this little black dot going across the sun, and there's Venus transit and all this stuff like that. Now I know it's all CGI bullshit. It's none of it was real, but yeah, I used to buy in all that shit.
Absolutely.
And I
I can't.
never critically thought about it. I just saw what they were showing me and it was like, okay. This is what I'm saying. They prepackage everything so nobody has to critically think or ask any questions. It's just like, there it is. They said it is what it is. It's in a textbook or whatever, and that's it. It's the authority. Who are you to think any further about it or question it? Because they already got it figured out and you don't need to do nothing.
Absolutely. And what was I gonna say? They just make it so easy for people to just take it in. I'm not going to think about it. I went through the K through 8 Common Core. They taught me that the earth is a ball. They taught me that space is real. And they taught me that I came from a big bang. And the funny thing about all three of those things, they're theories, still
Yep.
theories, Marxist theories. And yet they're written in stone. Charles Darwin is now written in stone at MIT in Boston.
Yeah, but see, if we come at them with a theory,
We're
it's
done.
like, oh, well, who are you? You're nothing. You ain't got a bunch of letters after your name and plaques on the wall. And you
Right.
didn't do spend a ton of money going to all these colleges and stuff. So
Well, got a
fuck
big
you and
white
your
coat.
theory. But these
Exactly.
theories are fact.
Exactly. It's just so ridiculous the BS they push on us as facts, and they take it, and the what's it called, the general public, they don't even bat an eye. They don't even think twice.
And that
They're
was
like,
us. I mean, we were all there at one point, and somehow we've come out of this deception. We come out from under the spell, the delusion, the deception overlay. And sorry, I'm just getting a phone call. I'm trying to decline it.
oh,
But
okay.
yeah, we've all been under it all this time, and there's so many that still are under it, and they don't see it. They don't want to see it. It's sad. It really is. It's just so sad.
It is, dude. And I feel bad. Like I said, some days I'm like, well, I've tried my hardest, man. Like these people just won't get it. So fuck them. We're just going to let them, lay by the side, and we're going to carry on. But then, most days I'm like, well, it's just not fair because they've never even been showed the other side of reality. So
Yeah, it's just like Morpheus says. He says, Neo, you've been living in a dream, and everything that you thought was one way and the way you saw it all this time, it's been actually this. And, it's the world that's been pulled over our eyes because nothing is what they told us. They had us on a globe, you got to have a globe to have globalists and all this stuff. They told us the North Pole was going to melt, sea level was going to rise. Oh, well, now it's just sea ice and there was never nothing up there anyway, so you don't got to worry about sea level rise.
Well, the funny thing is, you get a glass of water, you fill it with water and ice, and Just let it sit, and you tell me if it overflows once the ice starts melting. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's that simple. And people use that as a proof that, oh, see, this is what's going to happen. I'm like, well, you know, the only thing that would happen is if the glass was already full, then you start dumping ice in there, then it would get a little higher. But you know, we've shown videos and documents that literally prove the complete opposite of what they're saying with the climate change, with the sea level rising. There's actually been a 0.01 decline in sea level in the last 100 years. But who am I? Who am I? You know,
just and you're that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Richie covered that like a couple months ago, actually, you know, because everyone's crying Greta Thunberg and this, that, and the other thing, who, by the way, is just an actor. Her net worth is 147 million for people who don't know, and she travels from places and cars, planes, and trains. But yet,
and she's probably from a Satanist family and in the bloodline. So, you know, everybody thinks this is some sweet, super smart girl who wants to save the world and make awareness and everything. She's out there for a reason. She was put there, pre-programmed. Everything she talks about is already scripted and laid out, and there's an agenda. Exactly. And these people are, none of us would ever wind up in that position. Well, it's always their people. Controlled opposition.
Yeah, and plus you can't talk bad about her because she's just a 16-year-old little girl, and that's hate speech if you talk bad about her, you know, and you know, that's another thing. You know, it just leads more speculation on my part on, you know, because they're going to, when they pull this off, you know, they're going to have a human physical Antichrist rather than the solar simulator that they've had up for years.
Yeah, they're going to have that. Absolutely, for sure. They'll have that physical character because that's what people are buying into.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not saying that I fully believe this at all, but, you know, Greta Thunberg could be the easiest one because she's, you know, you can't demonize her. You talk bad about her,
she's
you're
the
out.
complete opposite of what they have us looking for. And that's all, you know, everybody's looking for this guy in a suit and he's coming from somewhere in the Middle East. He's, you know, whatever. And here it could be a 16-year-old sweet little girl who's trying to save the world or something.
Exactly. They're duality. That's how they work. They tell you A, in reality it's B. So you got to just get ready, people. When they want you looking over to here, you fucking look the other way because there's gonna be some shit going on behind you have no idea about, like the whole 5G grid going up over the last year, 2 years or so, 3 years actually, and you know, no one even talks about that. I don't see no anti-5G protesting on the news in local places or nothing, and that's gonna literally be the demise of everyone sooner or later. I had a what's it called, a targeted attack the other night after we got off the phone or off live.
And I know I heard you on the stream I was listening to earlier. You said that you had gotten that noise, that tone in your ear as you were talking on stream, and then that quickly it left.
It was it was real strange because I was talking about Gordy Rose showing this video, ushering and this, that, and the other thing, and I get this high pitched noise in my ear, and boom, they cut the stream live. So I start a new stream. And you know, that's the one you joined, and then we went live on your channel after, and we're talking about all this stuff. And so after that, I'm trying to go to sleep. I unwind, you know, turn the computer off, get in bed, turn the lights off, and I'm just laying there. And I got my eyes shut, and I would have thought that there was a full-blown lightning storm going on in my room. There was just this crazy white flash, and like, open my eyes and fucking jump back because I thought there was, you know, something coming on me or something.
You have trouble sleeping through the night? Like, I can't tell you the last time I've had a solid 8 hours sleep. It has to have been at least 3 years. I mean,
absolutely.
Or I would have to be really, really like under the weather, say like low energy and pass out. But it's still only, the most I could sleep is 5 hours. And even those 5 hours aren't solid.
No, not even close. I'm right with you. I'm either like I can't sleep because, you know, I'm just still awake. I'm having crazy ass fucking dreams, or B, there's some unseen force shining a fucking light in my eyes while I'm trying to sleep.
And then I find myself wanting to sleep during the day, and I seem to not have much problem falling asleep during the day and stuff. But I can't sleep all day. I have things to do. You know, it's like my schedule's getting all fucked up, and it's been this way for quite some time. And it's just like, you know, when you don't have your solid 8 hours sleep, it takes a toll on your whole body system and everything, and your melatonin and all that stuff like that. So I think that there are targeted people and targeted areas as well. You know, they could do it a broad swath and target a whole area, or like my sister, she's in Philly, and she said she hasn't been feeling very well. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I just feel really agitated. And she's up there in Philly, so I mean, even though she's in Glenside, which is kind of like the suburbs, there's still a lot going on in those areas. It's very condensed and congested, kind of. Everybody's very lives in close proximity of each other.
Yep.
All these malls and towers and all this stuff like that. All the stuff's all around them. And then she works in the city, so yeah, she's always has this like agitation over her, like an anxiety and stuff like that. Like you're always on some kind of, you never seem to be able to come down and decompress and relax. Your body's just always agitated, you know?
I'm right with her. You know, I feel the same way. It's ridiculous. My body's always aching. I know I do work a lot, but I've worked more in my life and been less like tired, like physically. And
So
like,
let me ask you this, Steve. Do you have fluoridated water in your area?
oh, voted for, absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you do about that? Do you have any options that you've been like? You don't use tap water. You like, I mean, if you were going to have a drink of water, would you get it out of the tap? You don't do that, right?
Not in my neighborhood, no. Wilbraham, where I work, they have I don't know if there's fluoride in it or not. I've never tested it, but no one ever voted on it. But in Springfield, they voted on it 5-10 years ago. So
Well,
yeah,
you're young. You're young enough that you know. I would suggest start drinking distilled water, because a lot of the aches and pains that you're experiencing are probably from the fluoride starting to build up in your system and stuff. And you take hot showers every day. You take a hot shower in fluoridated water. It's going to absorb quicker into your skin. Your pores are open and everything. And, you know, it accumulates over time. It doesn't leave your body. It just goes into your bones and accumulates. Another thing I wanted to mention, too, Brian had said that his dog has arthritis. Well, cats and dogs did not get these type of diseases that we get until we started producing their food in the beginning of the industrial age on till now. We didn't have all these diseases until the beginning of the industrial age, when we started processing foods and, you know, mass producing food and stuff, is when all these illnesses. And also you have to realize our animals are drinking the same water out of the tap. Like when you fill your dog's bowl up or whatever, you usually go to the spigot and you turn it on, you fill up the bowl and you give it to your dog. Well, the dog's getting fluoridated water too. And just like it's not natural to us, it's not natural to them. They have a shorter lifespan than us. Their metabolism is quicker, so they age quicker. I think it has 7 years to our 1 year. And it would, you know, that's why you could have a dog that's 10 years old that already has massive arthritis problems going on and stuff like that. Cats get cancer, dogs get cancer. They can get even this HIV thing supposedly that cats can get. But, you know, you hear a lot of dogs that have arthritis in their hips and their back legs and everything. And, you know, nobody ever talks about how they get these things. It's just like, oh, your dog has it. Oh, you have it, or whatever. It's like, okay, I have it. Like, this is a natural state that we're supposed to be in. Dogs and cats don't get this fucking shit. But since we started producing their food and they've been drinking our fluoridated water, they have all the stuff that we have.
absolutely, 100%. You're right. You're not wrong. But yeah, and another thing is, like, with the whole chemtrail epidemic, even these natural spring waters aren't really that natural anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's just hard. You gotta like what's going on. You gotta be like pick and choose, you know, what you drink and eat nowadays. It's hard to
Absolutely.
find.
If you don't want to
hard
be
to
sick
find
and
real-
dying and have your lifespan cut and short, you know, you have to. And if you don't like the doctor, if you want the doctor to be your new best friend, yeah, sure, partake in all this crap.
Right.
So if you go get a distiller unit hooked up to your water system or whatever like that, or look into like reverse osmosis, a lot of people have the misconception that, you know, many of these filters take out fluoride. It takes out a lot of stuff, but if you don't have a distiller or a reverse osmosis, it doesn't get the fluoride. So even though you're getting all this other crap out, which is awesome, you're still getting the fluoride, which is horrible. So, you know what I mean? It's like you have to really do the research. You really have to have the money. I don't have the money to have a distiller, or I rent here, so I can't really put a unit like that onto the water system. So every faucet in my house has distilled water coming out of it, whether it's the sink, the bathroom sink, or the shower. I would probably only be able to do it like on my spigot water in the sink or whatever. But it's important. Now, luckily for me, I moved to an area. I don't know how it happened, but I somehow managed to move to an area that does not fluoridate. And the first thing I did when I got here, because I already knew about water fluoridation from Florida and the problems I had down there, was when I got hooked up with water here, I said, do you guys fluoridate? And she's like, no. And I was like, what? And she's like, no, we don't do that. And I'm like, oh my God, like, thank you so much that you don't fluoridate. But the next town over from me, which is not even a couple miles away, and I know a lot of people that live over there, is Anniston, and they fluoridate. And, you know, and there are a lot of sick people over there. They have a lot of problems going on. And
no coincidence there.
no, it's horrible. It's horrible what they're doing. I mean, back when they were putting fluoride in baby water, you would see the jugs of waters for babies in the baby section and stuff with fluoride at it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're just starting with the babies now. You know, it's like, it's unbelievable.
It's actually sick. You're 100% right there. But you wanna take a quick 5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I got this queued up anyways, so
okay.
I'm gonna
mute out.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, Steve JMO. We've been going live for almost 2 hours now. We still got 54 in the chat. Good to see you all here. We're going to take a short little 5, maybe 6, 7 minute break. We got some ODD tunes lined up. So for the first track will be Doesn't Have to Be This Way. And if I'm not back before the other track plays, that will be Growing Up. So just get a good listen to that. We'll just straight up share it, actually. So you guys got something to look at. All right, cool. That's playing. That's good. Let me mute my mic. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Please like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some goyim on a hamster wheel, running in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone, and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine, and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay, then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just want to live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse choose to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the light. I'm so fed up with the lies they tell us, this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like I'm Neo, dipping from my P.O. Tripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker. And no, they don't want that. Fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day with each and everything I say. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Here's shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Doesn't have to be this way.
Own a business? You're going to want to hear this.
If you own a business, you need Next Insurance. Type your business, select your plan.
All right, and we are back. And unfortunately, Jen had to call it a night. She said something came up, so just good vibes and our prayers that way. So I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. It was a good stream we had. Just I thank Jen for coming, spending some time here. But yeah, we still got a couple things to get into. The solar simulator, we look at some of that stuff that I caught today, and then we'll look at some other images that I caught over the past couple of years of the same exact thing. And of course, I click on the wrong picture the first time, but let me just get a couple of these queued up. Yeah. And the funny thing is, you can't catch a picture of the solar simulator without catching chemtrails. They are one and the same. Not one and the same, but you can't have one without the other. Yeah, perfect. All right. I'm just gonna share on that real quick. Full screen. Bingo. And we'll start with this right here. This is what we got today. 1/14/2020. This is what we got today. You got a blanket of chem haze in the sky. We got a white hot disc looking type deal, possibly, but then you really look at it and it has straight edges all around it. Stop sign hexagon type deal. Okay. So we'll check that as guilty. This is something I caught just a couple of weeks, yeah, probably like 2 months ago, actually. And you can literally see straight line here, a straight line there, straight line there, semi-straight, semi-straight, 100% straight. You got 4 beams coming out of them. You know, just very evident of solar simulator. There's another one I caught. Chemtrails in the sky, high frequencies, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I believe the 6th one is just being blocked by the lens flare right here, but definitely suspect of being the real orange sun that was made for us by God. This is man-made, I believe. And all right, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't just on mute that whole time. And this is a Snapchat that I took about 2 years ago, maybe 3. This is when Operation Solar Shield just started to be talked about. So yeah, about 3 years ago then. The Operation Solar Shield, we do not consent. Look up, obviously, chemtrails in the sky, but you look at the sun. I didn't know I caught this at the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A hexagon in the skies. Undeniable. 100% undeniable, people. Unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. And then we go right over here. And what do we got? We got solar simulator patent. Yeah. Look at that. Hexagon. Hexagon. How crazy is all that, people? It's just reality. It is what it is. People don't really know what's going on these days, and I'm just here to try to, light a fire, maybe spark some plugs on people, and wake them up to the deception that we're all living. We're living under a fake sun, people. That's undeniable. Your reality is changing in more ways than one. The Earth is not a ball. The Earth is not a flat disc moving upwards either, just like to clarify that. The skies are covered in chemtrails, geoengineered clouds, HARP, NextRad, DOP, they're all playing their role. You got wars that are being played about with start on lies. That's evident in almost every war we've been into. It all starts upon a lie. Whether these wars are actually played out the way they are being said is questionable too. That's another way your reality just isn't what it is. You watch TV, you watch mainstream news, you watch Fox, maybe. Fox on the calculator, the Pythagorean calculator is 666 people. Okay? Or maybe you're just one of those losers, those little, queer bags, sorry, is what it is, who watch CNN. Well, the CNN logo on its side and mirrored is a 33. So you tell me who's running this stuff from both sides. Clear representation of the worship of Lucifer, the worship of Satan. So it doesn't matter if you think the Republicans are the solution. It doesn't matter if you think the Democrats are the solution. It's a double-headed snake, people, attached to the same body. Or they're just puppets, and the puppeteer is the same person. And we all know who it is by now. It's Lucifer, Satan, and he's playing his role. He's playing his role out through men, and they're falling for it, which is rather unfortunate. But it is what it is. Now is the time for people like you, people like me, like everyone in the chat, NH Guy, Yeetus, Gonna Ball, like everyone. It's time to excuse me, use the skills that God has given us. We have the eyes to see, we have the ears to hear, and we're gonna have to start using the voice he gave us. We're gonna have to start talking out about stuff like this, stuff about how your reality is shifting. You have stuff like the Mandela effect that people deny. You can't deny the Mandela effect, people. Okay? Apparently, your heart's never been on the left-hand side. Apparently, your kidneys are protected by the rib cage. Apparently, there's bones behind your eyes. So, yeah, you tell me what's going on. You tell me what's going on. Something big, something deep, something spiritual is happening. Whether it's for good, whether it's for bad, it's time to understand that this spiritual realm we're living in is closing in on itself, in my opinion. So we're going to have to just keep our eyes open, use your discernment now more than ever. And, I think it's a good time for everyone to, if you haven't become familiar with the Book of Enoch, maybe it's time you give it a read or give it a listen. It stated in the Book of Enoch that is for the final generations, for the final, for the last people who are here. And that seems to be us. So that's just my opinion on it. You do what you guys want to do, but, I'm going to get on out of here. Just want to thank Brian for coming on. I want to thank Jen. She was on too. But, yeah. Oh, what's up, Brian?
None. I see you're ending the show.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wind it down. Jen had to leave. I don't quite know what happened, but it is what it is. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get on out of here. Thanks for coming on, and good luck with work tomorrow. And I hope they don't fuck you the way the other people did. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get on out of here, guys. It was good having you here. It's a good chat, and I never actually went through the chat, so let me just start giving people some shout outs, and then we'll end it on that note. So I'll scroll up here, and we got Tom Muir, Musicians for Truth, OVC out in Croatia. What's up, brother? We got Blue. I'm sorry, don't know how to say that, but what's up? What's up, Mad Pie Man? What's going on, brother? Michael Healy, Yeetus McFetus, Awesome Austin. Who else? We got Jack Sonson. We got Awesome. I already said Awesome Austin. Bass Drums, Sinity. I'm sorry. What's going on? Blade Star 775. What's going on? Jeremy Forbes. What's happening? Thanks for coming, guys. NH Guy, what's going on? Tell me truth. What's up? What's up? Who else we got here? I know there's some other people hiding. Got a ball. Probably said that already. It is what it is. Is what it is. Man. I don't know how to say that. Libby East. I'm sorry. Definitely butchered that. What's up? Thanks for coming. Much appreciated. Counts in the chat. West Texas. What's up? What's up? Got a couple solar simulator vids on my channel. I'll have to go check that out, West Texas. I'll have to go check that out. Thanks for coming, guys. Brian Wolcott. I think you just been trolling this whole time. But it is what it is. It is what it is, people, until it isn't no more. So, yeah, Ceiling Fan, man, I'm sorry you missed the show, but, we had a couple good heads on, so give it a listen. Give it a re-listen. David Wolf, thanks for coming. Captain Rankin, thank you. So, yeah, thanks guys for coming. It was a good chat we had. But I'm going to get on out of here. God bless you all. And, just stay true to yourself. Stay true to the truth. And, we'll figure it out from there, guys. I'm out of here. Take care.